What's going on, all you samurai assassins out there? Phat Samurai Guy is here, and welcome to another episode of The Movie Dojo, where we discuss martial arts cinema and action films. And today we're going to celebrate our 50th episode. Yes, 50 episodes of The Movie Dojo. So I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to talk about my top 10 action films of 2017. Now, this is a list video, so I'm going to try to quickly get through each movie. I'm not going to give a big long review for each film. So let's do this. First up, some honorable mentions. Number 10. Atomic Blonde. An undercover MI6 agent is sent to Berlin during the Cold War to investigate the murder of a fellow agent and recover a missing list of double agents. Atomic Blonde stars James McAvoy and Charlize Theron. I really love the cinematography, the soundtrack is great, and James McAvoy is a lot of fun. The plot of this movie might be a little bit too messy for some. There's too many damn twists. And in my opinion, McAvoy and Charlize should have had some kind of throwdown at the end of the movie. It was a very missed opportunity. However, the action sequences are very well done. We got fights on the stairs, we got fights in this apartment complex. The fight choreography in the third act, especially her fight with Daniel Bernhardt. I mean, they beat the shit out of each other so much that they could barely stand up towards the end of the fight. It's fucking brutal. Number 9. God of War. In 1557, Japanese pirates proliferate along the Chinese coastline, and after months of futile advances, Commander Yu, led by Sammo Hung, finally defeats them under the leadership of newly promoted General Ki, played by Vincent Zhao. God of War is directed by Gordon Chan of Fist of Legend fame, also starring one of my favorites, Shoji Kurata. Great costumes and cinematography in this movie. I also enjoyed the little bonus dream match, sparring match between Vincent Zhao and Sammo Hung. That was fun. General Ki's wife in this movie, just fucking annoying. We get some pretty fucking badass war scenes in this movie, and a complete surprise. It came absolutely out of nowhere. I wasn't even expecting it. Speaking of dream matches, Vincent Zhao ends up fighting the legendary ageless Shoji Kurata, and they have a sword duel at the end of the movie. A one-on-one sword battle. And not only is that sword fight pretty fucking cool, keep in mind when you watch that fight, Shoji is 71 years old. Number 8. The Foreigner. A humble businessman with a buried past seeks justice when his daughter is killed in an act of terrorism. A cat-and-mouse conflict ensues with a government official whose past may hold clues to the killer's identities. This film is directed by Martin Campbell of GoldenEye and Casino Royale fame. It stars Jackie Chan and Pierce Brosnan. We have really good acting performances here, especially from Jackie Chan, playing the serious role of a grieving father out for revenge, and also Pierce Brosnan does a great job as well. And I also enjoyed the kind of retro-inspired soundtrack by one of my newest favorite film composers, Cliff Martinez. Now, this film might be a little bit too slow, not as fast-paced for some viewers expecting the usual typical Jackie Chan action fest. So I can see some Jackie Chan fans maybe might be a little disappointed with this one. However, in my opinion, seeing Jackie Chan less in this movie actually worked in the film's favor, because every time he showed up, you knew shit was gonna happen. You know it was about to go down. And then Pierce Brosnan's minions are like freaking out as if Jackie Chan's like Batman or something, like, where is he? You know? And it was just, it made things more intense and more exciting when Jackie Chan would show up. But Jackie Chan's the fucking man in this movie. I'm sorry, you know, I mean, he hasn't had the greatest track record of films lately. So if you compare The Foreigner with some of his recent movies, The Foreigner, in my opinion, kind of seems a little bit underrated. Again, his performance is great in this movie, and he's great in the action sequences. And keep in mind, he's 63 years old in this movie. Number 7. The Villainous. A female assassin leaves a trail of bodies behind her as she seeks revenge. We have here another beautiful looking movie and a really, really good acting performance from our lead actress. I kind of found the film just a little bit overhyped. It wasn't the non-stop action thrill ride that was advertised. And that's due to the way the story was told. It was very slow-paced. However, when there is fucking action, the movie delivers. The opening action sequence is amazing. You got some really well done fight choreography mixed with some very interesting camera work. And then you got a damn fight sequence with katana swords where people are riding motorcycles. Yeah, enough said. Number 6. Blade of the Immortal. Manji, a highly skilled samurai, becomes cursed with immortality after a legendary battle. Haunted by the brutal murder of his sister, Manji knows that only fighting evil will regain his soul. He promises to help a young girl named Rin avenge her parents, who were killed by a group of master swordsmen led by ruthless warrior Onotsu. This film was directed by legendary cult film director Takashi Miike, and this is his 100th film. Takuya as Manji was captivating. This movie brings you a lot of colorful and memorable characters, and the story is very solid. The character of Rin can be annoying at times, but holy shit, the action sequences and the fight choreography for this one, man. When your opening fight sequence could easily been a finale for another martial arts film, I think you're in good hands. Huge body count, another fucking bloody good time, brought to us by the man who did 13 Assassins. Number 5. Logan. In the near future, a weary Logan cares for an ailing Professor X somewhere on the Mexican border. However, Logan's attempts to hide from the world and his legacy are upended when a young mutant arrives who is pursued by dark forces. This film is directed by James Mangold, who did 3:10 to Yuma, and he also did The Wolverine. The film stars Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart, and newcomer Daphne King. We had some really good career-defining performances here from Hugh Jackman and of course Patrick Stewart. And even Daphne King does a really good job. Everyone can relate to these characters and easily follow the story. The film definitely has that Western slash lone samurai type of vibe to it. The film doesn't really have a very memorable villain. He's your typical stock villain, but luckily his character didn't really need to be the focus of the film. So I was kind of expecting this film to kind of be more of a character piece, which it is, but I was not expecting the movie to have this much fucking action. And not just action, badass fucking bloody violent action. Number 4. Headshot, headshot. A young man with amnesia and a serious head injury gets nursed back to health by a young doctor. Unfortunately, his past comes back to haunt him, and violence ensues. Sweet, sweet violence. This film is directed by the amazing Moe brothers, who at the time was mostly known for making really good horror films. This is their first time dipping their toe into the action genre, and they deliver. This film also stars the amazing Iko Uwais. Iko does a good job putting on a pretty good dramatic performance in this film. And of course, my favorite, Sonny Pang. That guy's the shit. I'm becoming a really huge fan of this guy, man. This guy's amazing, and he plays a pretty badass, intimidating villain in this movie. In the beginning of the film, I was a little bit concerned on how the fight sequences were filmed. There was a lot of handheld camera movement, mixed with a little bit of shaky cam, just a little bit. And another thing, you don't really get that much backstory on Iko's character. However, action fans will not be disappointed. I'm talking really bloody and violent. And the fight scenes and how they're filmed get better and better as the film moves along. All the way up to the end battle with Sonny Pang, which is my favorite fight in the movie. Definitely not as good as the Raid films. I mean, come on, they kind of set the bar up there. But still, a bloody good time. Number 3. Boyka Undisputed. In the 4th installment of the fighting franchise, Boyka is shooting for the big leagues when an accidental death in the ring makes him question everything he stands for. Surprisingly, this film's not directed by Isaac Florentine. It's actually directed by Todor Chapkanov, starring the unbelievably amazing Scott fucking Adkins. Yuri Boyka, the most complete fighter in the world, is definitely one of the best characters in martial arts cinema. And again, Scott Adkins kills it playing this character in this long-awaited sequel. Now, some people might be turned away a little bit with the film's kind of low-budget look and not a lot of character development, especially with the side characters, and it's a very simplistic story, so some people may have an issue with that. But who gives a shit if the story's simplistic when you have some of the best martial arts fighting sequences, period? The fight choreography and the camera work ranks among some of the best. A real treat for fans of the franchise, and I wouldn't mind more sequels. Number 2. Wolf Warrior 2. I know, right? China's deadliest special forces operative settles into a quiet life on the sea. When sadistic mercenaries begin targeting nearby civilians, he must leave his newfound peace behind and return to his duties as a soldier and protector. This film was directed by Jing Wu, starring Jing Wu, Frank Grillo, and Selena Jade. If you're curious, go watch my review of the first Wolf Warrior. It's entertaining. Go watch that review. But I was disappointed. I was really disappointed with that one. And that had fucking Scott Adkins in it. So I had really low expectations going into this, getting ready to watch the sequel. And this film completely destroys and obliterates the first film. Completely. Now, if you're expecting Oscar caliber performance and storyline, you might be disappointed. The good thing about this movie is that it wastes no time in setting the tone and letting you know what kind of movie this is. A good example, the beginning water fight. That's right, when Jing Wu dives into the water and he has a fight sequence with all these bad guys underneath the water. I think he's underneath the water for maybe like 10 minutes. He can hold his breath for 15 minutes. Sure, why not? His character's that badass, why not? It's one of those movies. We're talking ridiculously over-the-top action. We have a scene where a tank shoots a missile at him, and he grabs a bed frame, okay? A wired bed frame, and deflects the missile and bounces it back. Yeah, he constantly just dives and jumps through windows. No injury, nothing, he's completely fine. In one part of the movie, when he dives through the window, while he's diving through, the broken shards of glass, he just grabs one of them in midair and lands and then cuts the soldier's throat that's standing there. Yeah, he crashes his Jeep through a building, almost landing on the hostages that he's there to rescue. We got Fast and Furious drifting type stunts with tanks. We have a large African lady doing a Macho Man type elbow drop on one of the bad guys. Yeah, you still with me? You still with me? And just when I started to enjoy the film on its own terms, as kind of a B over-the-top action film, later in the film, the movie actually surprises me and gave me legitimate, pretty badass action sequences and stunts and fight choreography, which I kind of wasn't expecting. Like legit shit. We have this huge body count. It's like Rambo turned up to 11. All I can say is that I was laughing hysterically while being blown away at the same time watching this film. Really caught me off guard. And I can't wait for the next one. I think I love this movie. Number 1. Birth of the Dragon. No, I'm just kidding. John Wick motherfucking Chapter 2, son. What else could it have been? After returning to the criminal underworld to repay a debt, John Wick discovers that a large bounty has been put on his life. Directed by Chad Stahelski, starring Keanu Reeves and Ian McShane and Common. The film does everything a good sequel is supposed to do. It gives us more action sequences that are fucking brutal. It expanded the Assassin's Guild universe and then brought in some new memorable characters. Now, some people in comparison may prefer the first film's overall plot to this one, but keep in mind, this is a sequel. The action sequences in the John Wick films have changed the game. They changed the game for the action genre, for the better in my opinion. Fans of this franchise will not be disappointed. This is the type of movie where the ending just keeps you wanting more. It's fucking amazing, and that's why it's number one. That's it for today's episode of The Movie Dojo. Now let me know in the comments below some of your favorite action films of 2017. And give me your own list. Give me your own top 10. And as always, I'd like to thank all you guys for watching. You guys rock. And here's to 50 more episodes of The Movie Dojo. See you guys next time. Peace. Like, share, subscribe.